Hello everybody, hey, it's Fox from Model Making Guru here, and I forgot to turn my fan off. Give me 1 second. There we go, now you can hear me. Hey everyone, it's Fox from Model Making Guru here. Hello, welcome to another Warhammer Sunday, and we've had a bit of a break for the last few weeks, so yes, it's good to be back, folks. It is good to be back. Summertime has officially gone back to British style, so it's cold and wet. Well, it's a bit warm, but it's wet, miserable outside, so shouldn't be a problem doing this today. I just need to close something down because my computer is screaming at me. Not sure what's going on there, but it's doing something anyway. So hello, welcome. Yes, it's been a while. Welcome back to Warhammer Sundays. I hope you are all well. I will go through my blurb in a moment. I just want to quickly say, for those of you who know what's been going on, I've been unavailable for the last few weeks because Mama Fox is poorly sick and was spending some time in hospital, so I haven't been around for the last few weeks, but had other stuff to deal with. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's, sent their good wishes and sent good thoughts and things like that. Really appreciate it. Pass them all on to Mama Fox, and yes, I really appreciate all that. She's doing fine now. She's still got some surgery to come in the next few weeks, but she's doing all right now, so she's hopefully getting back to normal. I'm going to put that fan back on actually because it is quite warm. Hang on, all this bad planning that I've not done. There we go. I'll just put it on 1 so it's not dead loud. Now, I've made a slight error already. I've turned all the lights on, I've turned the microphone on, and the camera's right here, right in the way of my face. So never mind, I'm going to have fun today trying to do anything. So welcome. If you've not been to one of these before, this is Warhammer Sunday. This is when normally during the week I do my own stuff, and then at the weekend is when I do my Warhammer stuff, and I decided I'd just stream it on a Sunday and you can join in, hang out while I'm painting me bits. But I've not done one for a few weeks, but this is typically every Sunday, so there you go. Because it's not hot, we can do it at the normal 3 PM time today, not 8 PM. But yes, I'll be working on my Warhammer army, which is the unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, which is my Principality of Xeon themed Warhammer army from Principality of Xeon from the Mobile Suit Gundam universe. It's basically an Imperial army, but painted up like the Principality of Xeon. Now I'm going to be working on today my armigers. I'll show you my knight that I finished in a minute if you haven't already seen it. But if you haven't seen one of these shows before, it's really just a chance for you guys to hang out in the chat and just be silly. While I just happen to be in the background working on my Warhammer army. I could just sit here and work and not stream it, but I figured it's a good laugh if you guys can sort of hang out as well. So I'll interact with you guys in the chat. I have the chat right here, just off the side of the screen. If you've not watched one of these before, say I'll just do my thing. I'll just waffle incessantly for 2 or 3 hours and you guys just hang out in chat. I depend on you for giving me stuff to talk about. So do ask questions. If you want to ask questions, please do. If you want to ask questions, if you're watching this and you've got the live chat, which is here, but it's also on the YouTube page, then go along to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this from a link that I've posted up on, say, Twitter or Facebook or on the Patreon page or something like that, then if you want to, you can watch it there, or you can click the link that's in that post and it'll bring you to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat. Join in, because we'll be doing sticker giveaways and stuff like that. If you want to ask me a question, just make sure to put your question in big fat capital letters, the whole sentence, so I can't possibly miss it. Just like Jack Robinson there did. Halo Fox, nice Sunday today, new sub. Thank you very much, Jack. Yeah, put it in big fat capital letters so I can see your question or your comment. Or if you want to, you can do the super chat on the chat window itself. There's a little, you can't see it, but there's a little, oh, my iPad's falling over. There's a little $sign at the bottom of the chat window. If you press that, that just gives the option of doing a super chat. So your chat goes in a big coloured box and I can't miss it, and I get an audio alert as well. And last of all, if you can't get into the chat at all, don't panic. If you're somewhere where you can't get into the chat, or you're on a device that doesn't show the chat because you can't get the desktop YouTube site up, then just pop me an email. I'll put the email address up. It is modelmakingguru@gmail.com. Just send me an email if you've got a question or anything you want to ask me. I will be doing sticker giveaways later on. I've forgotten how I do all this opening stuff. I apologise if this is a bit disjointed and rambly. I've forgotten how I do the opening. What was I going to say? Yes, if you we'll be doing sticker giveaways later on. Well, I'll ask a question. If you want to get a free sticker, you can either answer the questions, or you can send me a question and an answer to the email address, there. Send me the question and the answer that I'll use. If I use it later on, I'll send you a sticker. Make sure, obviously, I don't care if the answer's correct or not, but try and make it correct. I don't do any fact checking. I really have forgotten how to do this opening bit, because it's been a few weeks and I've had other stuff on my mind, so it's all gone a bit weird. It's all weird. So yeah, send it to modelmakingguru@gmail.com. As always, as we've had before, we do have the continuing boss battle, stream boss battle, which is the health bar up here. Now, we had a very nice tip come through, very, very nice tip yesterday from Stuart C, who donated $50 yesterday, or the day before yesterday. He put through a tip of $50, and thankfully, even though we weren't live on the stream, it seems to have taken acknowledgement of that. So that's gone down quite a bit since you last saw us. The way it basically works is, I'm the stream boss. You need to whittle my health down, and when it gets to 0, you become, if you're the one that gets me to 0, you become the stream boss, and I will buy for you any Warhammer kit you want. Any Warhammer kit. And it could be something else apart from Warhammer. We can talk about that, but this is a Warhammer stream. So initially we'll say any Warhammer kit. And that could be anything from a single figure to a big massive box set. Forge World, we're not thinking about Forge World just because there are a lot of issues, but we can have that discussion. But it's going to be quite a nice win, because how you defeat me raises funds to buy that prize. How do you get me down to 0? Well, dead easy. I'm glad you asked that question. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really am rambling. All you need to do is, if someone subscribes to this channel while we're live on air, it takes a little bit of my health off here. If someone does a tip to the tip jar, which is here, which is streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru, that takes a bit of my health off, and the bigger the tip, the more health comes off. So when that $50 tip came through the day, that took a big fat chunk of health off. Or you can do a super chat, which is the thing at the bottom of the chat window, the little dollar sign. Again, the more you put through on a super chat, the more it takes my health off, and it'll whittle my health down slowly but slowly. We've got rid of all these black bits that used to be green. That's come down, and we're now on 37,497 or something like that. So we're getting down to the bottom now. So yeah, get your tips and super chats and everything else, subscriptions going through. And like I say, if you get me to 0, then you'll become the stream boss and you will win a prize. At the moment, I can tell you, because all the money that you do through your tips and your super chats and stuff is going towards the prize that one of you will win. We're already up to about, I think it's about 200 quid. Yeah, so if you win, if you become the new stream boss and you win, I'll let you know how much there is, and then you can, obviously, we can have the discussion about what you want me to get for you. So just to give you an idea, and it's going to be a nice kit. Whatever you decide to get, it's going to be pretty nice. And I am saying Warhammer, but we can discuss other things. So yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. So anyway, that's all the stream boss stuff. So do take part. Do have a go. I don't know if we'll get down to 0 today. It's taken a good few episodes, 6 or 7 episodes to get that far down. So, but remember, the more you tip or the more you super chat, the more my health goes down. Right. Anyway, let's get on with the beverages. I really apologise because I've really forgotten all the routines for doing this. So I'm just waffling, babbling like an idiot. Also, the microphone is behind the camera and I'm looking at the camera. It's really weird. So, right, I've got an enormous beverage. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that is not coffee. Nope, it's tea. Sorry, it's Barry's tea. If you read my Facebook or my tweet post the other day, we were sent some Barry's tea. Oh, yes, we were. It's very nice. I don't like tea, but this Barry's tea was really, really nice. And Mum decided she wanted more, so she ordered some, but she ordered 600 tea bags, which we thought would come in several boxes. It was just a massive bag full of 600 tea bags. So we have a lot of tea bags now we have to work our way through. Yeah, so big swig. Oh, that's really hot. Oh, I should have left that to cool down for a minute. Oh, that's really warm. So yes, big massive mug of tea today. That's a litre. It's 2 tea bags and 6 sugars. I don't like tea, but I do like Barry's tea. Right, so let us have a look at the chat and see who is in today. If you've never seen one of these before, we usually go for 2 or 3 hours. I just waffle on and you guys hang out in chat, so there you go. Let's have a look. We have Jacob Reyes is in, Tony Blackwell, Pascal Lieverse, Scale Model Vamp, Jodie Blackwell, Taka. James Lorimore is in. Welcome to all of you. Sergeant Bones, g'day Sarge. I don't know why I went Australian then. Scale Model Vamp. I was going to try a South African accent, but it didn't. I'm not going to do it. It wouldn't work. Jack Robinson is in. Jodie Blackwell. some guy called Model Making Guru. We have... Oh, hello, what was that? Tony Blackwell. Thank you very much, Tony, for your tip there. That's most kind of you, sir. There you go, a little bit of my health gone down. Good to see you back, Fox, he says. Thank you very much, it's good to be back. I really am so grateful for all the sort of the kind thoughts and the comments and feedback everybody sent me, wishing Mum well and everything else. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's kind of meant a lot to me. It's kind of a stressful time. It's been a hard few weeks, but the support that I've had and that through me Mum's had over the last few weeks has been really comforting. So all I can say is thank you so much to everybody who's you know, sent nice thoughts and sent positive thoughts and all that kind of nonsense. It's really nice of you and it's really kind, so thank you so much. So still got surgery to go, so it's still a little bit, yeah, but we'll get there. She'll be fine, back up and running before you know it. Let's have a look. Who else have we got in? Tyrone Key, T for the Tea God, he says. Yes, welcome Tyrone. Jerry's in. Hey Jerry. Lord Barkley III is in. It's like taking your seat and waiting for the film to start. Yes, it's just halfway through we don't get an intermission where you can have Sunkissed Cura, Toffee Poppets and King Cones. You have to just miss some of the show to get those. James Lauren were asking me if I'd eaten. Yes, for my lunch. Our neighbours, the couple that live next door, made a massive Sunday lunch, roast lamb lunch today, and decided to give us both a huge plate of lamb. And it was like lamb. There was parsnip, there was carrot, there was mashed potato, there was stuffing, there was roast potatoes, there were broccolis, there was gravy, there was mint sauce. I said lamb, didn't I? And it was a massive plate, like the size of a house. And we went, there you go, mate, and there's a thing of gravy and a thing of mint sauce. And we're like, oh, wow. So we, Mama Fox and I have just had enormous plates of roast lamb Sunday lunch, and we're now both fatter than you can imagine. It's rather pleasant. I've got a runny nose. I don't know why. Excuse me for 1 second while I blow my nose. What else have we got going on? Jack Robinson subscribed today. Thank you very much for the subscription, Jack Robinson. Most kind. Excuse me. Ghost Lyle is in. Pineapple, yes. Nim Cinderin's in. Good morning. Chris is in from Gross Models. Jodie Blackwell says, may I ask how long you've all been building? So feel free to answer Jodie in the chat. I've been building since I was like 7 or 8, so that's about 40 years. About 40 years. What else we got? Sergeant Bones says 46 years off and on. Yep. Longer than me, but not much. Dave Barker's in. Yay, hey Dave. Welcome back, Fox. Just on a smoke break. Be home for 5, hopefully, so we'll nip on and heckle you in true Waldorf and Statler style. Good man, it wouldn't be the same if you didn't. In related news, I've quit smoking. He's great. About the last 3 weeks, not had a cigarette. Just the doctor told us off for smoking when we were in the hospital. He said you shouldn't smoke. So I was like, okay, we'll just stop. And I just stopped. 3 weeks, not a problem, no stressful. No snippiness, no nastiness, no spikiness. Just stopped. So, yeah. 3 weeks clean. Yeah, it's good. I'm actually sleeping properly now. So no smoky tube breaks during this show. Let's have a look. Scale model vamp. Since I was 9 years old, took a long break, and it's back to building again for 5 years now. You'd be surprised actually how many of us built for a long time until we got to a certain age, and then stopped. And then I've just got back into it in the last 5 to sort of 10 years. It's quite common. It's quite common. Wayne Haywood is in. Hi all. Hi Fox. Welcome back. I hope your mum is okay. Thank you. Palmer Zero. Good morning, Fox. The chat just jumped. Palmer Zero. It just moved. Oh, Skipper Ted's in. Hey, Skipper Ted. Yay. Forced rest means I can catch a Warhammer Sunday, says Skipper Ted. Hope you're feeling good, Skipper Ted. At the same time that Mama Fox took ill and had to go into hospital, Skipper Ted's been poorly sick. He's been in hospital as well. So, don't know what this means for the Monday live stream. With me, it'll be me and Chris again. So we'll try and be sensible on the E-Models live stream tomorrow. It might just be me and Chris, but there you go. So yes, get well soon, Ted. Hope you're doing okay. Let's have a look. But it's nice to have you on the show. You won't know anything what I'm talking about, but then we don't do a lot of Warhammer on this Warhammer stream. We mostly talk. It's like E-Models. We just talk about old stuff and old TV. It's great. Let's have a look. Who else we got in? JS Idaho is in. So many e-models YouTubers. Yeah. I think basically when me and Ted started doing e-models, we kind of brought all our followers with us, and then they kind of all followed us back again. So yeah. Palm Zero traitor lol. Joking. Mum knows best. Yeah, that's about the tea. That. Interzone 88 is in. Hi Fox. Oh, update for you. The last show we did was what, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we haven't yet announced who won the prize, which was the Formula 1 car. We're going to do that tonight, and I haven't yet, because of everything that's gone on, I haven't yet sent out all the prizes that were in the backlog. So we've got some stickers waiting to go out, we've got the Spitfire kit, and we've got the Abacan 2288 book still yet to go out. So I'm hoping to get some time this week. As I say, we're kind of sitting on tenterhooks waiting for the hospital to call and say it's time to come in and have surgery. So I'll try and get some time this week to get everything sent out. But today we'll be pulling the winner for the Formula 1 124th Formula 1 car. I'll show you that in a minute. And we'll be pulling the wheel of giveaways to find out what this week's prize is. Stefan Last is in. He says, almost forgot, but I made it just in time. Welcome back, Fox. Chris says he does 144 stuff mainly. James Lorimore, in answer to the question, because Jody asks what does everybody build, Sergeant Bone says everything. Chris says 144 stuff. James Lorimore says he's working on real grade tall geese painted as Pinkie Pie. Tony Blackwell says he's mostly doing car kits, but he's starting to do more military. Lee Gallup's in. Hey Lee. I don't know how to do the wave emoji, says George. I don't know either. I think you just type : wait, let's try it. I've got a new iPad as well, so I can actually type now in chat. I think you just do a : and then wave. Let's see if that works. Yes. There you go. I think for things like that, you just type : and then the thing you want to get rid of the keyboard. Then the thing you want to actually do. Let's have a look. Where are we up to? Yes, I've got a new iPad now, so I can do chat in the chat. George Flouter's been building a few months, mostly Gundam, and he will also be receiving, some months from now, he will be receiving a very nice Master Grade Verkar Sazabi that I'm doing as a Patreon reward for him. So yes, look forward to that, George. George, I am thinking, for those that don't know, I have a Patreon page, patreon.com/modelmakinguru, and for top tier patrons, I actually do a Master Grade or equivalent value Warhammer build it, paint it, send it to them. Basically a free model. I've got the Strike Rouge Oratory, which I need to get started. I just haven't been able to because of the weather and because of obviously everything that's happened in the last few weeks. Once that's done, the Strike Rouge Oratory for Jordan, once that's done, I'm on to George's Sazabi then. And for those of you who didn't see the post I put up, or where I think I mentioned it somewhere, it's not going to be a regular build of the Sazabi. It's the Verkar Sazabi, but it's going to be painted to look like a mech suit from Overwatch, in the livery of the Shanghai Dragons, I think, if I remember rightly, because George likes his Shanghai Dragons, and because they're apparently not very good, they keep getting beaten all the time. I'm under orders to make sure it's a bit battered and beaten up. So I was thinking, George, I might do a brush paint job on it, like I could do in my night, because it doesn't need to be shiny and clean. So we'll see. It's going to be a while yet, because I've got to finish the Strike Rouge Oratory yet. Let's have a look. Jody Blackwell, I only do 20s, 30s, 40s and 50s cars, World War II aircraft and electric guitars, says Jody Blackwell. I assume that's real electric guitars, not miniature electric guitars. Let's have a look. Just painting some Dark Eldar Scourges. Love painting the wings, says Tyrone Key. Welcome, Tyrone. Doodle-doo-doo. Although now that I know that electric guitar models are a thing, I want to give that a try, says George. Lee Gallup says, wow, congrats, Mr. Fox. Good news, re-smoking, congrats, says Chris. Yay, says Nim. George says, congrats. JS Idaho retracts a message, so I don't know what it was. But don't be too worried in my chat, by the way. You can swear, you can be a little bit rude, not too rude. But you can do swears in my chat, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to be... this isn't the e-models chat where it's all best behaviour. Good stuff, Mr. Fox, says Scale Model Vamp. Tony Blackwell says, distract yourself if you get any cravings. I've managed to quit smoking for about 15 years. I've got to tell you, I've had no cravings at all. I've eaten everything that hasn't moved. If something doesn't move, I can pin it down, I can eat it. So I'm eating everything I can find, but no cravings, I just stopped. There's been a couple of times in my life when I have just stopped because I've had an ultimatum of stop or X. You can either carry on smoking, well, it's like you can either stop, or, and a couple of times I've done it and it's been absolutely fine. No cravings, no problems, just stopped. I didn't really have a choice, so in my brain I said, I have no choice, got to stop. It's not a multiple choice, it's not an option, it's just I have to do it. So I did it and I stopped. No problems, no cravings. Lee Gallop, I've only been building for 1.5 years, says Lee Gallop. Aww, you baby builder. Yeah, but you're doing really well. Let's have a look. Miskatonic University podcast. Congratulations on quitting smoking. That's a big accomplishment, says Dan. Thank you very much. Sergeant Bones quit smoking 5 times so far, and then the comments moved. Arse. Hang on. Congrats for doing it, mate. I have stopped before in the past a couple of times, but various circumstances got me back into it. So, Wayne Hayward is in. Earl D is in. Hello to you too. Into Zone 88. A packet of cigarettes in Australia will cost $40, which is about 12 trillion. No, hang on. 12 trillion Australian dollars is about £1.25. So, $40, 23 quid by 2020, says Into Zone 88. Yes. Oh no, I'm going to miss next week, says Nim. I'll be driving to New York City during the stream. Jack Robinson. Fox, did you get the 1/60th perfect grade ashtray red frame? Nope, never done an ashtray. I'll be honest, I'm not that keen on the ashtray. And this is ashtray then, on the ashtray frames, purely because painting the frame would be a nightmare, unless you do it as a static model. So I might get one point. The only perfect grade I've actually ever had is the Zaku, which I've not finished yet. I kind of did it and then got burnt out, and the Strike Rouge with the Sky Grasper, which I never started and sold to Tony at Helgen 3.5, and then I regretted it because I really wanted to do it now. So yeah, Aviad Madara's in. Let's have a look. Axiad Madar, WTF, like that's what's going to stop us from smoking. At best it means you can't afford the treatment. I don't want that. Is a response to. Hey, Ted's in. Get well soon, says Stefan Last. LD says experiment with crackling paint on armour. Wayne Hayward has started building over a year ago, mostly Bandai Gundam and Star Wars figure kits. Miskatonic University podcast. Dan says I mainly do sci-fi kits. Right now I have a Bandai Boba Fett and a teeny flying sub going. How can it be a sub if it flies? Or how can it fly if it's a... Never mind, moving on. LD, build guitars as well, but not at the moment. The wife banned them. Yes. Jerry is currently converting 3 of his new kill teams ready for a few games. Yep. If you've not checked that out and you're into your Warhammer, do check out. I've got a runny nose again. Do check out the new kill team stuff. It's like a skirmish game. I've not really read too much into it, but it's like a, rather than a full campaign game, it's like a skirmish thing. You have a smaller unit or a smaller team. Oh, and it can be a bit more fast-paced. Excuse me. Oh, bloody nose. I think it's more close quarters. Oh, sniffle, sniffle. There's no Imperial Knights or anything like that. Voyage to the bottom of the sea flying sub. Oh, okay. Jack Robinson. And it's confidential for you. So how old are you? Let me know. Thanks. Well, I've been building models since I was 8. And I've been doing them for 40 years. There you go. You can figure it out from that. Kill team looks fun, says Ghost Lyle. Yeah. JS Idaho has a large stash. Don't boast. Not good to boast. My stash is way out of hand considering how little time I've been building, says Lee Gallop. If you've been building for a year and a half and you've got like 1 billion models in your on your shelves in your cupboards, you're doing it right. Don't worry, you've got it right. You've got all the things in the right place. Big swig of tea. Right, so anyway, get the chat down there. Matt Bradford, hi Fox, I'm currently working on the Blake 7 Liberator model and talking about guitars. I built a David Gilmour black Strat replica a few years ago. Oh, Blake 7 Liberator. Wow, I didn't even know there was one. Unless it's scratch built, in which case even more wow. I've had 2 Kill Team games yesterday with Harlequins. Really fast paced, very fun. Good God, you painted Harlequins, you madman you. I wish you could tell my wife that, says Lee Gallop. Yeah. Anyway, so today, if I actually shut up at some point, we'll be doing some work on my 3 armigers. I've got 2 Warglaves and the other one. No, 1 Warglaive and 2 Helverins. The one, if you're wondering why one has the carapace on the top, it's because I glued it on like a spoon and went, oh crap, I've just glued it on. So he's got the top glued on now. So yeah, I tried some different poses. Before we do though, just in case you've not seen it, I thought I'd show you my Imperial Knight. I posted pictures up the other day. While it was sunny and warm, and I couldn't do any work up here in the studio, in this room because it was too hot. The only thing I could do was a couple of hours of painting in the afternoons outside in the garden, just while the sun had gone in and it was cool. So I basically got my Imperial Knight painted up from the start. I was all primed, and I just sat outside for a few afternoons, 2 or 3 hours a day, and just got him all painted up. So he is now done. And if you remember, I said I was doing a Principality of Zeon army. So this is effectively a Knight Zaku. If you know your Zeon, I'm going to have 3. This is the Zaku. He's the Imperial Knight that's designed to look like a Zaku mobile suit. He's battered and beaten. He's a grunt suit. He's not the most powerful. He's not particularly valuable. They don't care. So he's not the best looking. So that's the Zaku mobile suit equivalent in Imperial Knight form. What I'm going to do, I do have 3 knights now because I did accidentally go out and buy the Renegade set. Yeah, that happened. So I accidentally bought the Renegade set. Well, I thought to myself, I need 2 more knights, and I'm not going to spend 200 quid when I can get the Renegade set for 120. So if you're looking to get a couple of Imperial Knights, don't buy 2 separately. While it's available, go and get the Renegade set, because it's like 2 90 quid kits and a 30 quid scenery for 120 quid. It's a steal. You're getting basically a knight and some scenery with a free knight thrown in. So there you go. So he's the Zaku. Eagle-eyed amongst you will notice there's lots of Principality of Zeon water slides. The more eagle-eyed may notice there's a bit of a Metal Gear Solid 5 reference there. If you can't see it, I'll see if I can zoom in. Let me see if I can use the awesome power of Awesome Powers. Not Austin Powers. Awesome Powers. See if I can zoom in on that. Hang on. Where's the camera going to go? Oh, that's fully zoomed in, really? Well, that's all the zoom I get. Wow, that's a bit pants, isn't it? That's not much zoom. That's a bit weird. I should have more zoom than that. Anyway, yes, so yes, he's got a little foxhound decal on there because I had a load of decals and I thought I'm going to use it, so why not? So that's the Zaku, which is basically, in Warhammer terms, a knight errant. Sort of low point value, not the most powerful. There will be 2 more. There will be a Knight Goof and a Knight Custom Char's Knight Zaku, or a Knight Char's Custom Knight Zaku, which will be red. Obviously, the Goof will be blue. The Goof and the Zaku won't be. The Goof and the Char's Zaku won't be as battered as him. He's supposed to be battered because he's a Zaku. Nobody cares. He's a mass-produced grunt suit. So that's that done. I'm going to move him out of the way because I don't want to get him covered in paint shortly when it all gets messy. Let me just put him over there. Oy, oy, oy. Right, so that's him there. Now what I need to do is crack on with some work. So I'm going to be doing some non-oil washings. Oh, is Ted off? I'm off for a sleep, hope to be back before the end. Thanks for coming in, Ted. I hope you do come back, but don't worry if not. Get your sleep, dude, get your rest. Take it easy. It's not mandatory. If you need to sleep, do your sleeps. But thank you for coming in anyway. Take care of yourself, matey. Yeah, Ted's been poorly sick. So, everybody send your thoughts and wishes to Ted as well. Not just Fox's mum, it's Ted. Ted needs thoughts and wishes. Right, so yes, we're going to do some washes. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to get my desk covered in Null Oil. I've got the inside of my project box, my Citadel project box, I'll just use that. I could just put newspaper down, but then it just gets a bit confusing because all you can see is newspaper everywhere and you don't really know what to look at. So we have many, many metal things, my honey. This is where the job is easy. Now, I didn't actually film painting that Imperial Knight, but what I may do is I might actually keep one of these back, because I didn't film doing the Imperial Knight, but I'll probably, well, I think it's not with the same colour though, is it? I don't know. I was going to say I was going to film painting one of these, but these are actually going to be a slightly different colour. They're not going to be painted. I was going to originally do them like all green, and then do one green, one blue and one red to go with each mobile suit, each knight. But what I'm actually going to do them is I'm going to do them in orange, because I'm going to do them like Gundam the Origin mobile suit workers, which are the precursors of the Zaku's. So they're going to be in orangey shades. So I'll probably keep one back, and I might do a filming of, maybe, we'll see. I'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. I really am. So we will keep the, we'll keep the Warglaive back. So I'll just put his arm on there. And he has the crappy melter thingy, doesn't he? So we'll give him those two, and he can go off to one side. And what we'll do is we'll make these two the Helverins. So they've got the big long pointy guns. Now I have done some magnetizing on these. I gave the Helverins, both have the bolters, and they've got a little magnet just on the bottom of the bolter here. Little tiny magnet, and a little magnet stuck in there. I had to drill the hole out a little bit on this side, just a little bit to widen it. That's just stuck on my super glue, and ka-ching, there you go. Now I've got a gun on the top, not a problem. On the Imperial Knight I did the same with the guns on the top of the carapace as well. Just magnetised those. I didn't magnetise anything else on the Imperial Knight. So I'll put all that to one side, because he's got his little gun and he has his little gun. I've got if you watch the last show, if you watch the show when I did the Imperial Knight and I started painting the inner frame, I primed it and I painted the inner frame by hand. That was a really bad idea, because it took forever. So what I did in this case for these guys was just prime them with the lead belcher spray. It's a lot easier than brush painting it. And for the armour parts, I've just primed them in Chaos Black, because they're going to be a different colour. So we're going to put all those to one side. There doesn't need to be anything else. That's going to be on his, so that goes there. Right, so I'll stop muttering. I'll put him to one side, because I'll try and keep him to one side to do like a filming the paint job kind of video at some point. Oh, before we get going, I've just remembered. My apologies, Jerry. We have a mystery package to do, and I totally forgot. Oh, you remember Jerry? He sent me loads of goodies, which are now prizes in the giveaway. He sent me another mystery package, except I know what's in it, some of it. He has actually sent me, and George, you'll like this, he's actually sent me some lights, some Bandai MG Master Grade light LED sets, or a set I think, that can go in the Sazabe if it works. So that's one of the things in here, but let's see what else he said. He said he sent some other things as well, so we'll do that. Philly says, good afternoon, popping in for a nosy, great to see you back at it, Fox, thank you very much. Oh, it arrived early, says It actually arrived yesterday, mate. Yes, it did. So my apologies, I forgot about this. Ooh, I do like it, says George. Yes, I thought you might. And he said, you'll know it's mine, because if you remember, Jerry sent me the package. When he sent me the other package, it was in bright yellow tape. This time it's in bright red. I don't know where you get this bright coloured tape, but don't tell me, because I want the mystery. I don't need my questions all answering. Now let's see if I can get this open. There's a note. Oh, there's a. Hang on. There's a note built into the packaging. Let me just make sure there's nothing on here you're not supposed to see. Oh, what is this? Was ist los? Right. Sorry, too hot for white chocolate or iron brew, but enjoy these and share with Mama Fox. Best wishes to you both, Jerry. So we have some little batteries. So I assume they're for the LED set. Let's see what we've got. I don't know what's in here. Oh, it's all heavy. We have... Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Oh, I'll go through these in a minute. Oh! Oh. Oh, right, we have the LED set first of all. I was thinking to myself, there's no LED set in here. It was stuck to the top of the envelope. We have the LED set and some batteries, so they're going to be used in the Sazabi. I think Jerry said it's a bit temperamental. It might need a bit of a slap every now and then to get it working, but it should hopefully work. So if it does, we can get that into the Sazabi. Thank you very much for that, Jerry. George, say thank you to Jerry. Very kind of you. But that's all well and good, but this is the more important stuff now, is the fudge. We have peanut butter fudge. Oh, now, I've only recently discovered a loving of peanut butter. Up until, like, I don't know, 3 months ago, I hated peanut butter with a vengeance. It was the worst thing I could ever put in my mouth ever. Horrible. Hated it. Couldn't stand it. And then about 2 months ago, I had a peanut butter and jam sandwich. And I realised that the Americans are onto something there, because it was the nicest thing I've ever eaten. So now I really like peanut butter with something else. So, the Ochil Fudge Pantry. Ochil? Ochil. I need to get my visors up. There's little tiny text I can't read. Hang on. Let me see this. Let me see this. Quality confectionery from the heart of Scotland. Hey, there you go. It's the Ochil Fudge Company. Great. Fabulous. There we go. Comes from Alloa. I can't remember where postcode FK is. Is that Falkirk? Falkirk? Peanut butter fudge. Heather honey fudge. Now, I love honey. Oh, good God. Ingredients: sugar, milk, butter, Scottish heather honey, golden syrup, glucose syrup. That's all the syrup in the world. Now, stop looking at my bottom and eat me. I like that. Yeah. Bakewell fudge. Oh. Sugar, milk, butter, golden syrup, yes. Cherries, yes. Citric acid, cherry, blah, blah, blah. Colour, yes. Glucose syrup. Oh. After 8 fudge. This is going to be minty. After 8 fudge. Sugar, milk, butter, cocoa, golden syrup, glucose syrup, natural flavouring. I'm guessing the main ingredients for fudge are then sugar, milk, butter, cocoa. Well, sugar, milk, butter, golden syrup, and glucose syrup. Oh, that looks nice. And this one, Nutella fudge. Wow, Nutella fudge. Now, I need to try some of this. So, it's going to have to be... It's going to have to be the heather honey... No, it's going to be the Nutella fudge. That's a little bit soft, that one, so I need to put these in the fridge. But I shall put them to one side for the moment. Where shall I put them? I shall put them to one side in my face. I shall try a little bit of the heather honey fudge live on telly. Oh, oh. Right, let's break off a little bit. Now, it's hard to do this because they're not exactly breakable. They're just solid blocks. That'll do. Ready? Oh. Oh my, oh my. It says Nutella fudge, and you know what? Hang on. Enormous tea. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it was delish. Oh, that really was fudge and Nutella in the same mouthful. Mind blown. Right, I'm going to put this LED set to one side carefully somewhere. I shall put it in here for the moment, because I'll put it in the Sazabi box later. So I shall put that there and out of the way, just to make it safe. Oh, so Jerry, thank you very much for the fudges. They won't last long, and they will be shared with Mama Fox. And thank you for the LED set and batch as well. I'm sure George will really, really appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. Oh, that's really nice, that fudge. Can we just end this stream? I'll just go and eat fudge now. Aviad Madar says, Model Making Guru, can you do a quick measurement of those Armiger Helverins autocannons? Thinking about converting those instead. Sure. Have I got a taping measure? Yeah. Let's have a look. With a ruler it'd be easy, wouldn't it? Hang on. They are... if I can see. Lengthwise, they are about... I can't see. You might not be able to see because of the light, but just over about 7 3/4 centimeters long. Just shy of 8 centimeters long. Diameter wise varies. Barrel is about 1/2 centimeter in diameter. Butt end is not very exact, but about 2/3 of a centimeter. And overall height, if you take off the arm, because this part here, that's the actual gun. Everything under the everything down there is part of the arm. So that's what the gun actually looks like. So height, if you take the arm off, is about, not very scientifically, but about 1 2/3 centimeters. So there you go. Yeah, it's just shy of 8 centimeters long. I hope that helps. Right, what else have I missed in Ted very quickly? Yeah, Ted's gone for a snooze, so take care, Ted. Where did you get the Xeon markings from, Fox? Are they kit decals or aftermarket? Says JS. I know. I went on to Amazon and did a search for Xeon water slide decals. There's tons of them. I've got there's about 4 or 5 different. I think they're official Bandai sets. They're just generic Xeon markings. So I bought like 2 or 3 of each. So I've got loads of them now. I need to buy a lot of the Xeon symbols because I might need to put them on, like, you know, pauldrons on arms and things for like Space Marines and the grunt troops. So yeah, there's loads of them. But yeah, just go on Amazon and do a search for Xeon decals or Xeon water slides. I'm missing a small gun. Hang on. I'm missing a tiny wee weapon. One. Oh, there it is. 1, 2. There we go. I'm not missing a weapon now. I found it. Let's have a look. Wayne Haywood says, having started last year, my stash is currently 30 kits. Yeah. Let's have a look. Liberator is the 3D design. Bleh, get my teeth in. Liberator is the 3D printed kit, 18-inch, available on eBay. Cool. Sieg Xeon says JS Idaho. LD says, what to wash with? Agrax Earth. Oh, what to wash white with? Agrax Earth shade, grey with a bit of yellow, yellow with a hint of brown, or black. It depends what it is. It depends what you want to suggest. I try and avoid black washes on white just because it's a massively stark contrast. Depends what look you're going for. If it's like a Space Marine or something, if it's a Warhammer kit, then I don't know. I really don't know. Don't forget you've also got things like Seraphim Sepia, which is more of a less of a dark, deep brown, dirty tone like Agrax, and more of a sort of warm, old ivory kind of colour. So there's Seraphim Sepia, there's Reichland Flesh Shade again, which is a more rosy shade. So if you're not sure, I would get a few spare bits and just try different shades on them and just see what you think. And don't forget, of course, if you're doing a shade of any kind, like when I did the night here, I don't go all delicate with the shades. When I did this night, I just slapped shade all over it. I mean, literally slapped it all over, and then dry brushed the green back. What I did on this was the light green colour is, I think it's Elysian green. I can't quite remember, but I think it was Elysian green. It was black primer, and then Elysian green, down a ton of Agrax Earth shade. I think it was 2. I can't remember if it was 2. It's actually, I should have written it all down. I completely forgot. It might have been a very thick, very heavy coat of Agrax. It might have been 2. And then I dry brushed over again with the same green, Elysian green, to bring back most of the colour and just leave it around the edges. So it does depend what effect you want, really. I find black's often a bit too stark for colours, unless they're metallics. It does work, but it depends what you're doing. Let's have a look and see what chat's doing before we get going. I'd love to grab a box or 2 of those nights, but I think I've ever played the really good deal excuse with the girlfriend after buying 2 Age of Sigmar starters. He said Javier Madar. Yeah. Let's have a look. Thanks, Jerry, says George. It works, switch on the bottom. Has it got battery in it? Jerry says it works, there we go. Oh yeah, look. It's green as well, kick ass. Yes, and you've got 2 spare batteries. Excellent. Yeah, so that'll be going into the Sazabi, which will be painted to look like the Shang. I'm going to see if I can find somewhere that I can get very nice decals done. I can't do my own decals, I don't have a printer. So I'll make inquiries when it comes to the time. I'll make inquiries about getting some Shanghai Dragons decals signed. If not, I'll just do it in the right colours. But peanut butter and honey is one of my favourites. Ooh, mini nights dibs, says Cage KS. Welcome, Cage. Maybe quitting smoking has allowed the taste buds to taste more thoroughly again. PBJ for the win, says JS Idaho. My sense of taste has got a bit better, and my sense of smell. I was very lazy yesterday. I'm going to be really honest with you now. I was very lazy yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well, and it wasn't really. It was a little bit too warm to get any work done. I wasn't feeling too well, so I thought I'll have a lazy day tomorrow. I'll treat myself to a lazy day. I've been stressing out for the last few weeks, so I sat down and I got up and I basically spent all day playing No Man's Sky on the Xbox, because I got that a couple of weeks the other day when it came out, the next version on the Xbox. I thought I'll play that, and I started playing it, and then by the time I realised it was tea time and it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh, I've not had a wash or anything. I just got up and just turned the Xbox on and just vegged all day. So I basically didn't have a wash yesterday. Minging, innit? And yeah, I got up this morning and I'm sitting there and I'm sort of having my morning coffee, and I'm like, I can smell my own face. I need to go and have a shower. It wasn't good. So yeah, if you get to the point where you can smell face, you're either wearing a face mask because you're spraying, or you've skipped an essential hygiene moment. So yeah, I was just being lazy. I didn't have to go out anywhere yesterday. I didn't have to go to the shops or anything. There was no reason for me to leave the house, and I wanted just to treat myself to a lazy day because I wasn't feeling great. So I was like, you know what, I'll just sod it all. I'll just veg. And then I was like, this morning, I can smell my own face. It's not good. Yeah. I know that sound as I make the same when I open them, says Jerry. Oh yeah, when I was going, woo. I think Fox went to snackage heaven. Jodie Blackwell says, where is everyone from? Jerry's in Scotland, as we found out when I read the labels. Name is in the western half of New York State. Cage KS in Colorado. James Lorimer is Missouri, USA. Earl D is a heavy shader as well. I don't know where that is. I know. Palma Zero, Louisiana. Jodie Blackwell is in Texas. Half the year. In Costa Rica the other half of the year. Ooh, nice. Lynn Dipple. Heidi Peeps Fox, I'm an hour late. How's Mama Fox? Hey Lynn. She's fine. Just waiting on a date for some surgery now. Miss Tonic is in South Dakota, USA. Let's have a look. Jack Robinson. I hope you all know Lamar Wilson by all. I don't know who Lamar Wilson is. Thanks for coming in, Jack. Thanks for popping in. New Mexico, says Lynn, but a displaced Texan. Jodie Blackwell's a surfer, and there is great surf there, and Jodie loves the people there. So there you go. GB's Model Zone. Gordon's alive. Welcome, sir. Lynn Dipple. Hi, James. I don't feel bad now, John. We did stay up late. Yeah, we did. Tony Blackwell's in Cardiff. There's lovely. Interzone 88 is in Melbourne, Australia. G'day, bro. Yeah, she's right, mate. Right, should we do some work? Seeing as that's what I'm here for. You're here to watch me do some work. You're not here to watch me. I don't do work on telly. You know me. I'm rubbish at this. I just sit and talk to you guys for like 2 hours, 3 hours. Right, so what I need is, without locking the camera, without banging the microphone, I need to get a load of grippy things and a ball of blue tack from somewhere. I don't know where that came from. Not too worry. I need to get some grippy sticks. Because we need to grip things on the grippy sticks like this, you see. I tend to put the grippy stick on the bottom of the bit that goes in the arm socket, just because you're not really going to see that. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't get any paint on it, or doesn't get any wash on it. So I'm just going to mount these on a stickage, just to make life easier for me. Because basically, at the end of the day, everything is about making things easier for me. It's all that matters. And for these, how cool is that? It's magnet. It's magnets. How do they work, magnets? No, brilliant. Amusing moment the other day. Mum will hate me for telling you this, but she said something the other day, and there was some conversation we were having about something, and she suddenly remembered something, some kind of drink or something called magnets. And from this point on, I had this. In fact, it sounds really crap when I explain it, but I was taking the mickey saying that her brain was going because she was calling everything magnets. So, like, you know, when there was a wood pigeon, I was like, look at that magnet over there eating the birdseed. Oh, update on the garden as well, as you know. I'll tell you when I'll get doing some work first. Just shut up, Fox, and get some work done first. Right, so primed in, terrible. Primed in lead belcher. We're going to do a shade first off of Null Oil. I'm going to get my essential piece of equipment, which is my anti-spillage device. Now, Mike Mount is not watching, but Dad, I would use your anti-spillage device, but it's got all the glues and other stuff in it. So I'm just going to use this, and it takes up a load of space there, but actually no, I don't want to get it covered in Null Oil. But yes, anyway, we're talking about stuff. So yes, I was taking the mickey and calling everything magnets. So, and she was like, oh, shut up. I was like, nope, you did it. I think she just used the word magnet at the wrong time, and I just mercilessly took the piss after that, basically. So, let's get some shading done. Now we're going to do 2 coats of this because I want it to look shaded, dude. Now, I'm not going to be gentle or delicate. I'm going to put some gloves on, because if you ever tried to get shade off your hands, it's really hard to get off. And here's a handy tip for you: don't spill shade on your trousers or any clothing of any kind, because you've run out of gloves. Because trust me, I've got jeans that I spilt some shade on maybe a year ago, and they've been washed so many times they've still got shade on them. Yeah, it just does not come off. It's very good stuff, but good luck. I'm just getting the box of gloves out because I ran out of gloves. It's very good stuff, but my God, is it hard to get out of anything. Yeah. Do. Magnetism, says James Lorimore. Nim Cinderin says Lynn says Fox work laughing my arse off. Nim says, yeah, his work is gluing 2 bits of plastic together and then jabbering on with all of us. Yeah. This isn't really actually a program about me doing any work. It's a program about us just hanging out, chilling out. Tony Blackwell says, you know, I don't think I've actually watched Fox building on this channel. I've usually got him on in the background. There could be all kinds of things I've built that you wouldn't know about. I cast shade all over, says Cage KS. Yes. Well, I'm using the inside of my project box lid just to avoid mess on this mat on the workbench. Is a brilliant mat. It's an absolutely brilliant mat until I got it covered in crap, which always happens. I need to find a good shade brush. This shade brush is it's a shade brush. It doesn't pick up much shade. It's a bit rubbish in a lot of ways. So we're going to get some on there. And like I say, I'm not going to be gentle with this. I'm literally slapping it all over. And we're going to do it. For such a big shade brush, it doesn't actually pick up that much shade, which is weird. This is very strange. It picks up a load straight away, but then it all just falls away, or it doesn't pick up much at all. Never mind. But the trick here is we're going to want it to look dirty and scruffy and horrible. It's going to be a mobile worker. For those of you who know your Gundam lore, if you watch Gundam The Origin, it's like the forerunner of the Zaku's. It's a mobile suit that was designed for just utilitarian purposes, for lifting and shifting and loading stuff, and it was a mechanical. It was like a JCB, I suppose, but it was a precursor. It's what the Zaku's were developed from. So I need my visor of seeing so I can see how badly this is going on. I don't like this shade brush, it just doesn't seem to do a very good job. So they're going to be painted up in mobile worker style. They're going to be shades of orange, I think, for the armour. We'll be painting on some hazard stripes. But unlike the Warhammer lore, where they're just meant to be like a bit of heraldry that look like hazard stripes, these will actually be hazard stripes, because they're meant to be utilitarian. I'm just making it up. For those of you who never watched this before, basically I am theming my Warhammer army on the Principality of Zeon. There is a load of fluff, and if you weren't here when I explained it the first time, I'll indulge you. The fluff basically is, and it's complete and utter fluff, that there was a break, there was a rupture in the warp, in the space-time warp and everything, and all that and everything in the Warhammer universe, and barreling this rift in the universe sent, how did I explain this now? Basically swapped out a chunk of the galaxy with a chunk from a different galaxy, and the different galaxy, of course, just happened to be from a universe of Mobile Suit Gundam, Universal Century universe. So you had this big chunk. I keep knocking the camera, I do apologise. This big chunk of space from the Universal Century universe in Gundam plonked into the middle of the Warhammer universe, and it just happened that this chunk of space was like the territories of the Principality of Zeon, so a load of sides and a load of planets and stuff. So basically a big chunk of the Principality of Zeon just materialised in a different universe. So basically the Imperium Man send a few envoys, a few ships to go and check it out, because something weird goes on. They send an Inquisitor and a load of Space Marines to find out what's going on, and they discover this big chunk of space with this whole new species of human in. Not a species of human, this whole new, like, you know, load of humans that they've never come across before, with all this technology they've never seen before. Now in the Warhammer world, of course, all this technology, their mobile suits, their Zaku's and their beam lasers and beam weapons and stuff, it's all heretical. So they're given a choice, like an ultimatum. You know, they're said, basically they're told, you've got a choice. You can either join the Imperium of Man, surrender all your technology because it's all heretical, take on our technology and fight for the Emperor, support the Imperium of Man, or we can just wipe you out because there's trillions and trillions of us and there's maybe a few million of you and you'll last 5 minutes, and plus we can just exterminate us any planets you've got anyway. So they thought about it and they're like, you know what, yeah, we don't want to die. So they decided to be subjugated and fight with the Imperium, become part of the Imperium of Man. So they confiscated all their technology, all their beam rifles and beam weapons and the mobile suits, and replaced them all with proper legal Imperium technology, like knights and las guns and bolters and things. So consequently, what you have now is this whole section of the Principality of Zeon in a new universe, signed up to fight for the Empire, for the Imperium, using Warhammer tech as approved by the Departamento Munitorum, or whatever it is, and all that and everything. So they're basically using Warhammer stuff, but they've been allowed to keep their own, as the Imperium would call it, heraldry. They've got all their own signage and symbology, and their own kind of, you know... Oh, I've got the camera in just the wrong place. They've got their own structure, organizational structure and stuff. They have a squad of Space Marines now assigned to them. They have a group of AdMech who've decided to work alongside them to bring them into the fold, because you've got the Skitari, who don't always wear red and are sometimes based on their own planet somewhere else and therefore have their own colour schemes. So we're going to have some Skitari in the army. We're going to have a lot of Imperial Guard who'll be just the Grunt Xeon troops, just as they are. We've got some Space Marines, who I haven't decided what they'll be doing yet, but they'll be Xeon Space Marines, of course. We have some locking the camera again. We have some. I've got hair in my eye. We have some. I can't get my words out. What they called Tempestus Scions. We have some Scions. Okay, I need to leave that to dry for a minute. We have some Scions. They'll be involved. They've got their own troop, and I think they'll be kind of done in. They'll be more associated with Char, I think. So they'll be maybe in shades of red. Grunt troops, I'm not sure about yet. The Skitari, the AdMech, I'm not sure what colour they'll be in terms of their standard colours. And then we'll have things like, we'll have, Lehman Russ tanks. We've got a Lehman Russ going on. We'll have Valkyries and things like that. So there'll all be the usual vehicles and weaponry, but just done in a sort of more Xeon style. And there'll be Xeon decals and signage and stuff. And that's how it's going to work. So I did all the fluff just to keep all the neckbeards happy. They won't be happy. Because I'm very lucky in my local store. They don't give a shit what you put on the table. They don't care. It could be unpainted. As long as it's a Warhammer model, and as long as you're playing a game, the guys there don't really care. They're not neckbeards. They don't care if it's your own custom paint job or not. They don't care if it's unpainted. They just play the game. I'm very lucky that my local Warhammer store is like that. It's not a place full of neckbeards and that guy. It's a really fun, friendly place to hang out. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some part of my army painted up so I can actually go and play, because I've never played before. And I really want to. So there you go. So I'll get this first coat of wash done. What time are we on? I'll get this first coat of null oil done. And then we'll do some stickery giveaways and that and this. And I'll check out on the chat. And then we'll do a second coat of null oil. It might just be that all we get to do today is a couple of coats of null oil. Then again, we've got 3 hours, haven't we? So not just 2, so I might get more than that. But I was going to tell you about my garden, wasn't I? Yes. Garden update. As you know, because of the weather and stuff over the last few weeks, I've not really had a chance to do anything in here. Did a couple of these live shows just very quickly, and it was absolute torture because it was a nightmare. So a lot of times I've just been sat out in the garden. If it's been not too sunny, I've been able to do some work whilst I've been sat in the garden. But some of the days it was just a case of I had to sit in the garden, and that's all I could physically do because it was just too hot, too humid or whatever. So, but yes, we've developed a nice slew of wildlife now. We had all the wood pigeons, which I've mentioned before. They are just idiots. They are just Britain's favourite garden idiot, is what I like to call them. We put food out for the birds, so I just say it's time to feed the idiots, because they are dumb. We've got some doves, we've got some feral pigeons. We can't really stop them turning up. We've got blackbirds, thrushes, we've got a magpie that comes in. The magpie is great because the magpie will come in, it will shout at all the wood pigeons that are sitting on the bird feeder till the wood pigeons all go away, and then it will just totally not go on the bird feeder, it will just go on the ground and eat what's on the ground. So it's like, really? You're just being a bully. And we've got little robin, and we've got some other little birds and blue tits and things whizzing around in the garden. It's cool. So we sit and watch them. We've also got a squirrel going on, we think living in one of our trees, who hasn't figured out yet that there's peanuts on the bird feeder. Somehow she's not figured that out. You think she'd be all over that like a shot, but she's not figured it out. And if you're wondering how I know it's a she and not a he, trust me, it's easy to tell with a squirrel. You can tell a male squirrel a mile away. Yes, we've got a squiggle. Thankfully at the moment no baby squiggles. I don't mind them, but Mum hates them because they eat all the nuts and stuff, berry things. Actually, we had some salad a week or two ago, and I didn't like the tomato, so I threw a tomato down the garden just for laughs. Next day we came out and found the squirrel and tried to bury it, but I basically just dug a hole about that deep and just put the tomato. There's tomato sticking out the grass. I'm like, wow, you're crap. As squirrels go, you're not very good, are you? So we've got a squirrel, and we've just discovered a few days ago we have a hedgehog as well. Yay! We've had hedgehogs before, and we thought we might have one, but we've definitely got a hedgehog now. And it's living in some. There's on one side of the garden. There's like this pile of lilies, and it's just all leaves, like these big floppy leaves. It lives under those. You can hear it rustling around. So we got some hedgehog food. We put some out. We were watching it the other day. Came out and it nibbled away on the hedgehog food, which is quite cool. It's quite delicate doing this. So it's quite adorable. So what we've done is Mum. I showed Mum how to order stuff on Amazon. I'd set her up with the cat a while ago, but I was showing Mum how to order stuff on Amazon. So she's gone ahead and bought herself a hedgehog home, which is pretty mint. It's like a little wooden thing where you can lift the roof up to see inside, and you can put like bedding in there. There's little trays for food and stuff like that. So it's quite adorable. So yeah, we've got a hedgehog house that's on the way. So we've got a hedge pig, a hodgepodge, and we've also got a bat. Now a bat doesn't live in our garden. Lives a couple of doors down in a tree, but you can see it whizzing round at night. It's kind of cool. We've had bats before. And we've got the swift. The only thing we haven't got this year, which we get every year apart from this year, we normally have some swifts that move into our roof every summer. I haven't got them this year, which is a shame, really. Because they're nice swifts. I like swifts. Right, so that is one coat of the Norm oil. Done. So I need to leave that just to dry for a bit. And we're going to do a second coat. Now if you notice, I wasn't being careful. I'm just putting that all over, and that's the idea. I'm not being careful with this coat of Norm oil or any of the washes and shades, because it's not about really, it's just darkening what's there, because we're going to be doing a lot of dry brushing on the top of that to bring it back, so it doesn't really matter at this stage. Anyway, let's see what chat is doing. Where are we up to on the chat? I've lost my place now. I'll take these gloves off because I'm going to have to wear more in a minute, but I can't be doing wearing gloves. Has anybody got a recommendation for which Master Grade Unicorn to get? I'm finally going to give in and get one, but don't know which, says Richard Gibbs. Any of them. The full armour Unicorn Gundam with the, you know, all the Gatlings and all the weapons and shields and stuff is really good looking kit, but you will get weapons fatigue. So be prepared for a long haul for that just before you go into it. The Fennex kits, they look fantastic with the gold plating, the Meki plating. You can't do anything about nubs. If you cut the nub off, you'll get white plastic. There's no undergating on them. So be prepared. I would get the Meki plated ones. I'm not going to. I wouldn't. I'm not going to spend the money on something that's going to have visible nub marks everywhere. Let's have a look. I'd like to see the opposite of this. I'd be cool to see an Imperium Zaku. I have to do one at some point. I'll have to do one, get a Zaku, but make it up like a Warhammer thing. Let's have a look. Jody's working on AMT's 1951 Chevy convertible. James Lorimer had a 71 Plymouth Barracuda. It just sounds like you just started writing a book, Fox, says Lynn Dipple. I guess that's about the fluff. Yeah, I kind of got carried away with the fluff. Palmer Zero says, bye Fox, I'm going to teach my mini painting class. You have a great day and wish Mum well for me. I will. Thank you very much, Palmer, for coming in. You're very kind. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Yay, hedgehogs. The comment moved. My hog Murdoch used to wear a cape. My current hog Valkyrie says hi, says Cage KS. I like hodgehegs. Hodgepodges. Jodie Blackwell is asking what Gundam is. Oh. If you don't know Jodie, because I know some of you watch me and come to watch this, and you only know me because you watch Warhammer stuff. I also do a lot of Gunpla stuff as well. Gunpla are just kits of mobile suits from the Mobile Suit Gundam universe. So, yeah, some of you might not know what Gundams are. Welcome to Fox's Garden Zoo. This is Lynn. I saw a Gundam made into a Space Marine. The head was replaced in a human head of the appropriate scale. Cool. Right. I think it's that time of day, isn't it, to do some giveaways and that. After drinking enormous tea. The thing is, you can't really slurp tea like you can coffee. It doesn't really work. So, yes. Right, so I need to get some tissue because my moustache does capture all the liquid when I have a drink. We're going to do some giveaways. Don't forget, nobody sent anything to me yet, I don't think, but I'm going to do some questions to give stickers and things away. If you want a free sticker, send me a question. Send me a question, and if I use your question, I will send you a sticker. And there's the address. It's modelmakingguru@gmail.com. If you've got, so just send me the question. Now here's what you do: send me an email with the question, the answer to the question, and your name and address, so that I don't have to then mail you back and say thanks. Can you give me your name and address? So if you want a sticker and you've got a question, send me a question answer and I'll use it. If I use it in the show, you'll get a free sticker. If not, I'll just make some questions up. Dang, put my question in all caps like I asked and it got passed by, says George Flouter. Let me find it. Is there a skill level 3 tutorial set and am I just missing it? I don't think I did a skill level 3. I was kind of making it up as I went along with the skill levels, because the skill level 1, and I've got like two different. I've got the how to put oil paint on that Gundam that's just gunk washing, and then I've got the beginner's guide with the Giara Zulu. It's kind of skill level 1, so I kind of got confused with what I was doing, so I kind of gave up the ghost on that one because there's no real. I did the Sinanju Stein, and then I did the Freedom Gundam, and I was like, what comes between those two? And it got a bit weird. Yes, if you do want to ask a question, do put it in all caps. I might still miss it because I don't get to see all the chat because I'm doing stuff on here. But don't forget, of course, there is a super chat button in the bottom right hand corner of the chat. If you click on that, it'll let you put your question in a big colour box, and it also gives me an audible alert. And also, however much you put forward for the super chat knocks some of my health off. Just a reminder, by the way, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, I have got a where's the camera? I have got a stream boss battle going on. I currently have 35,000. How many have I got? 35 something health. You guys are knocking my health down by doing super chats, by doing tips to the tip jar, so streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru, or by subscribing to the channel. Each one of those activities takes a little bit of my health off. The more you tip or the more you do on the super chat, the more health comes off, and whoever gets me to 0 will win a kit of their choice. And we're saying initially a Warhammer kit, but it could be a Gunpla, it could be something else completely. We can talk about it. At the moment, the tips and the super chats have raised a budget of about 200 quid. So if you win, it's going to be something sweet. I'll let you know how much is in the budget, and then you say, right, this is how much there is, and you can say, right, I want this. I think, don't hold me to this, but I think by the time we win, there should be enough to buy a whole mess of Warhammer stuff, or at the very least a perfect grade, or possibly even say the perfect grade Millennium Falcon. This is excluding shipping, of course. If it's like 200 quid to ship it, you can't get it. It'll just be a budget. But at the very least, you're looking at a big expensive Warhammer set, or a couple of the box sets, or you're looking at perfect grade kit or something like that. It could be anything you want. We'll talk about it. Basically, when you win, I will buy and send you whatever you want within that budget. So get your tips and your super chats going through. Say the bigger your tips, the bigger your super chats, the more health you take down, the more chance there is that you'll be the one that gets me to 0. And then you're the stream boss, and when you get down to 0, whoever knocks you off there, they become the stream boss, and I will buy them a kit of their choice. So all the money you raise through the super chat and the tips goes towards buying the prize for whoever wins at the end. So there you go. Right, so we do some giveaways. Let's do some giveaways. I do apologise if this particular stream seems really disorganised and sort of choppy and bitty. I've not done it for a few weeks, so I've forgotten how you do it all. So yeah, I'm a bit disorganised. Every time I try to order Spaceship Filth, I get an item out of stock email. I blame all of you, says Cage KS. Yeah, Starship Filth. Yeah. If you want to make your own, you can make a reasonable facsimile with burnt umber or burnt sienna, and Payne's Grey, artist oil paints. Burnt sienna or burnt umber mixed in with a little bit of Payne's Grey. Similar, not the same, but similar. We have monkeys in our backyard, says Jodie Blackwell. Wow. Wow. I can't really compete with that. We've got a squirrel and a hedgehog. Not the same, is it? Right, anyway, let's do some stickers. So, as always, I will ask a question. And whoever gets the answer right first will win themselves. At the moment, I've got some Model Making Guru and some Team Inept stickers, so I'll send you one of each. Supplies are limited to these, so some of you may just get 2 Model Making Guru ones. I've run out of Skipper Ted ones. So it's just mine and the Team Inept one. I'll send you one of each, and when we run out, I'll just send you 2 of the Model Making Guru ones. So as always, it's going to be the first one to answer correctly. So what I need you to do first of all is, before you do anything, before we go anywhere, do ask any questions, refresh the page right now, because by this point of the show, there's always a lag between the stream and the chat. So hit refresh button now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it. 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 Do it now. Tony Blackwell says engine grease is a good alternative to Starship Filth. It is, but it's a brown. It's a more reddy brown colour. Starship Filth's a more dirty dark colour. They are a completely different colour. So yeah, your mileage may vary, but they both work well. I find actually, I've not done a gunk wash for ages, but what I'll show you if we get to that point on one of the live streams is that you can actually do a good post shade with streaking gram. Right, Fox made the world by Spaceship Filth, says InterZone88. Yes. Right, so if you're all refreshed, now we have had a question come through from have we had a question come through? Am I even looking at the right email account? Hang on. No, that would help, wouldn't it? Okay, right, okay, got a question from Chris at Gross Models. He says, don't need a sticker. he gets them for me, so he can get them whenever he wants. But he's got a question. It's quite a good question. Underpants, says James Lorimore. Yes. Refreshed and ready, says George Flouter. Right, so this is a bit of a Gundam question. So if you don't know anything about Gundam, you're at a bit of a disadvantage. But we're not just having one question, so don't panic. So this is a question from Chris. And again, I don't fact check these answers. I assume they're correct. So, and I need to know, I will take the month and the year, but if you've got the day, the month and the year, that's fine. The question, Chris, quite simply is, when did Gundam start? Go. When did Gundam start? I will accept the month and the year, but if you've got the month and the day and the year, that's even better. So when did Gundam... I better refresh this as well, hadn't I? When did Gundam start? I have to make sure I don't put the phone on camera. Remember, I want the month, at least the month and the year. Not just the year. February 1952, yeah, because I remember Japanese animation in the 50s was great. I remember I'm going off... Wayne Haywood is... No, actually, I do apologise. Wait, where are we? Yeah, my chat's going funny now. We have the first one in is Pascal Leaverse, who says April 1979. Does he? Wait, hang on. Get off. Yes, Pascal Leaverse says April 1979. It was, in fact, April 7th, 1979. So, Pascal, well done. You have won yourself and sticker. Now, Wayne Haywood, I did actually spot yours first and said you, and then it wasn't you. I'll send you a sticker as well. So, because I mentioned you first and then spotted Pascal's, and Pascal was first. So, you know what? I'll send you both a sticker. Both of you, all you need to do is send me an email to modelmakingguru@gmail.com. with your name and your address, and just say, please send me a sticker, and I'll send you some stickers out. Now, if I've sent you stuff before, then yes, you will have sent me your email address, your name and address before. I don't keep them. Data protection, all that. As soon as I send you stuff out, I delete your emails with your details on. So even if I've had stuff from you before, send it to me. So both Pascal and Wayne, both of you, send me your name and address, and I'll get stickers out to you. Now I've got to make questions up now, because none of you sent me questions. So let's make up some other questions. So what's the next question? Next question. Do 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 do. I don't know what to ask. Let's have a think. I can't think of what to ask now. I'll do the number on the back of the hand question in a minute, because we'll do 3 sticker questions. Bless you, Fox. Well done, Pascal, says Wayne. Yeah, well, I saw yours and was like, oh wait, oh no, wait, oh yeah, no, my bad. So I can't not give you a prize. Right. So I've got to think of the question now. But I can't think of a question because I am an idiot. Really, I'm stuck for a question. I'll do the number on the back of the hand and hope that Cage KS. Hey Cage, you know, if you send me a question and answer, don't put it in the chat, because then everybody can see the question and the answer. If you want me to ask a question, send me an email with the question and the answer, because there's no point putting it in the chat, because everybody can see the answer then. Right, okay. Okay, I'm going to do the old number on the back of the hand thing. I have written a number on the back of my hand, and that number is between 163 and 173 inclusive. What is the number on the back of my hand? Go! It's between 163 and 173. Oh, was a joke, says Cage KS. I like it. Now, between 163 and 173. Ooh, Neil Gardner sent me a question. Fantastic. A laden swallow, says James Larimore. George Flouter says 173. Ba 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 ba. There you go. 173. I knew that would throw you, because whenever you ask a number range and the number is one of the start or the finish range, people don't tend to guess it. Big T. Oh. So George, well done. Send me your name and address, and I will whiz some stickers off to you. Again, while stocks last, I'll send you one of each. If I run out, I'll send you 2 of them. Model Making Guru ones. Now we have another question. Another question. Yes, from Neil Gardner. I haven't checked it yet. Right. Okay. For a Warhammer stream, we do get a lot of Gundam questions. Never mind. Okay. So one last question for all you Warhammer people that know all about Gundam, but you could Google it. One last question again for some stickerage. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is from Neil Gardner. So Neil, you didn't put your name and address in the email. So send me your name and address. Tell me you need a sticker. Yeah, if you're going to send me a question and answer, put your name and address in there, so I don't have to mail you and ask you for your name and address. Right. So Neil says, for some of us it's a simple question. For others it's not. Who was Char Aznable's nemesis in Gundam? Go. Who was Char Aznable's nemesis in Gundam? Jerry says he doesn't need a sticker. Okay, cool. Who was Char Aznable's... I need the full name. And George is in again with the answer with Amaro Ray. Kick-ass. That's 2 lots of stickers you got there, George. Awesome. So George, well done. You don't need to send me Tosh lines. Who said Tosh lines? Phillies with Tosh lines. Tosh lines would just whoop Char Aznable's ass. And I really don't know how you're supposed to pronounce Char's surname. I don't know if it's Aznable. It varies in the show. I don't know. Luke Starrunner says Miskatonic University podcast. Dope. Okay, so George, you get 2 lots of stickers. So don't send me 2 emails. Just say you need 2 lots of stickers in your email. And we have had another question, so I'll do one more. So Neil, make sure to mail me. If you do want a sticker, you can have one. Okay, here's the last one for you. And this is nothing to do. I think it's Char. Lee says, is it Char or Shar? I think it's Char. Gonna deck out my laptop, says George. I've got them on the back of my iPad. Right, anyway, where are we? So I've got one more question. This is from Nim Cinderin, and this is nothing to do with anything on the table, nothing to do with Gundam, nothing to do with Warhammer. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. From Nim Cinderin. He says, what do the TV show Game of Thrones and cholera have in common? Go. What do the TV show Game of Thrones and cholera, the disease, have in common? Miskatonic says nope. Short people, says Cage KS. They both kill you. Infections, death. I'll have to go for something that looks about right. Specifically, it's a name. I'll give you a hand. But, says James Lorimore. Both will end in death, says Phil East. Says Osric. I'm looking for... The clue is I'm looking for a name. Nim says, I love history. Poop, says Lee Gallop. Everybody called Poop. Looking for a name, folks. Tosh Lines, says Phil East. Lemmy, says Earl D. Things, says Ghost Lyle. Jonathan says, if you remember correctly, the Japanese audio pronounced it like Shah, not Char. Okay, James Lorimore says snow. I will take that as a correct answer. I'll take that as the closest one we've had so far. The answer is that I've just locked my phone and I can't get it back. The answer is Jon Snow. 15th of March 1813 to the 16th of June 1858 was an English physician and a leader in the adoption of anaesthesia and medical hygiene. He is considered one of the fathers of modern epidemiology. He helped further the idea of cholera being passed through water. So there you go. So James, send me your name and address on emails and I'll send you stickers. So thank you very much, Nim. Little bit of history. I like history. History's rad. If you don't like history, then you're doing it wrong. So well done to all of you. So if you want a sticker, send me your name and address. If you sent me a question answer and didn't include your name and address and you want a sticker, send me your name and address. And we'll get those sent out. Now, as I've said before, I do have a backlog of stuff to send out. I do tend to send out stickers and prizes all in one go towards the end of the month. Usually just after Patreon payday. So I've got some backing up here from the last few weeks. I do need to get those out anyway. So hopefully sometime this week, maybe next week, we'll get everything out and get the backlog of stickers and prizes done. So that's the stickers done. So thank you to all those who sent questions in. Well done, everybody. Let's have a look. Jodie Blackwell says, well, girls and boys, I have to go. Have a good one, all pura vida. You're just about to miss the giveaway, Jodie, but you can watch it later. Gross Model says, hey Spid. Oh, Speedy Q8's in. Hey Spid. Fox is drinking tea. I know. It's Barry's tea. It's really nice. Right, so anyway, yes. So that's the stickers. Let's do the giveaways. Now, if you remember last time we had a show, which was about 100 years ago, we did the Wheel of Giveaways. And the Wheel of Giveaways told us that the prize was this 1/24th Revell Formula 1 F2005 Ferrari. which my friend Nikki will be spitting at because she hates Ferrari. She's a McLaren fan through and through. So the prize was this 124th Revell F2005 Ferrari Formula 1 car, which looks pretty nifty. And you know what? If you did some custom work on that, you could make it look like a really cool No Man's Sky ship. So that was the prize. We just need to find out who won it. So what we're going to do is, it is time to go over to the wheel of giveaways. I've got to cue everything up now. Hang on. This is where it gets a bit tricky. I've got to cue my audio up. Ready? I didn't press the button, did I? Oh! Where's the... There we are. Yes, it's time for the wheel of giveaways. Now what we'll do first, I don't know why I did that because we've not actually done the drawing yet. So we can't do the wheel of giveaways yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the wheel of giveaways down. I have to do the music when I close it, even if I close it by accident. Yeah. So that's the. We'll come back to the wheel of giveaways in a minute. We have to find out who won this first. So we need to do this, and we need to go here, and then we need to go over here, and then I need to drag that over there because it's in the wrong place. And oh, I've closed it. Oh. Right, we'll try that again. Hang on, hang on. Right, this is not going according to plan now, has it? Right, so we need to go there, and we need to go here, and we need to do this. You're getting to watch how the sausage is made. It's not exciting.
So right. I just created this dope website with Wix. Let me show you how I did it. First up,
adverts on the adverts. Thank you. We need to do a random comment picker. Okay, right. God, that all went wrong, didn't it? That all went to poop. Right. So hopefully you guys can see my internet now. Hopefully you can see my internet screen. Jules Flaughter says, I'm pretty sure I remember to get in on this. Yeah. Now, you've had about 4 weeks to put a comment. All you need to do to win was to put a comment on the video. So if you've not put a comment on there yet, you've got about a minute, about 10 seconds. You've had many, many weeks. Anyway, so all we're going to do is somebody says, JSIDO says, mad web skills, Fox. Yeah, it's not, it didn't go well, that did it? I just pressed all the wrong buttons. More tea. So, we need to pick the winner. So we'll take the URL from that video. We had 27 comments. Cool. Go to my YouTube random comment picking website, which picks YouTube comments randomly and at random. Paste in the URL. Load the comments. And are we ready? So let's find out who the winner is. The winner picked randomly by the random comment picker to win the Formula 1 F2005 Ferrari is Scale Model Vamp Brepanow, he says. That's his impression of a Formula 1 car. Now I think I'm already sending something to you anyway, aren't I, Vamp? So that's fine because I haven't sent it out yet. I think it was some stickers, so not to worry. I'll just include them with this. Hey, so Scale Model Vamp, well done. You've won yourself a Formula 1 car. Let me go back to the thing here. So Scale Model Vamp, well done. You've won yourself this puppy to play with and do with as you wish. I think it'd be cool to just make it into a No Man's Sky kind of vehicle, but there you go. Whatever, do whatever you want with it. So yep, you've won yourself that. So all you need to do is send me an email, which you're doing anyway, modelmakingguru@gmail.com. Put in your name and address and tell me what you won. Tell me that you won the Formula 1 car. I use my email inbox as my list of stuff to do. So if I don't have an email saying please send me X, you never get it. So send me an email with your name and address and this. And remind me that I'm sending you some other stuff as well, because I'm sending you, I think I'm sending you stickers from last time, I think, I can't remember, it's been several weeks and I've blinked since then. So that goes into the pile of stuff for me to send out. So well done, Scale Model Vamp. Now it's time, now it is the time that we have to go to the wheel of giveaways. Yeah, you have to do it's the law. I have to do that sound. So, if you've not watched one of these shows before, the wheel of giveaways is quite simple. I just have a whole load of stuff that either I've bought, or that's in my stash, or that people have very, very kindly sent me. Mostly, they're all kits and things like that. And each week we will spin the wheel of giveaways, and it will pick one of those at random. Last time it was that Formula 1 car. This time we shall see what we're going to be giving away. So, if you're all ready, I will find where I can press the button. It's moved. I'll go over here and press a different button. Hang on. It's moved. Where is my button pressing thing? Oh, there we go. Live actions. There we go. Right. So let's press the wheel of spinning. Are we ready? Stand by for the worst sound effect in the world ever. Ready? Go. Where will it end? Who can say? Only the person that sees when it finishes. This week's prize is Dom and Matt. Well, I shall show you what that is in a moment. I just have to quickly do this. There we go. So that's Dom and Matt. What is Dom and Matt? It's a small prize this week, this time. I'm just trying to get it out the pile now. Dom and Matt is... quite simply, this beautiful Gundam ruled notebook from the Gundam Cafe, sent to me by Jerry, and it's actually a Rick Dom design on the front. So it looks pretty mint. You might not see it on camera, but it's got a nice sort of blue Dom design. And there is little things on each page inside. I got one for the RX-78 too. I haven't got it to hand, but it is very nice. It's like a ruled notebook. So you've got the Rig Dom notebook. You also have this rather sweet Tamiya Craft Tools cutting mat, which is very, very nice. A A5 size one. Very sweet. See, A5 size. And it's slightly translucent. And it's really nice for if you're doing a little bit of work and say you're just working on the kitchen table, or like me, I've got this project box. It's a perfect size to go in there, almost. So if you're doing a little bit of work, say outside in the garden like I was over the summer, or you just work in the kitchen, you don't want to get told off by the missus, you don't need your big massive wood cutting mat. Quite nice. And what I will also throw in, because I had this anyway, is, and I won't be able to get this on camera, but I have an enormous Warhammer Age of Sigmar poster that I can't even begin to get on screen. It's from the Soul Wars set. I don't know how I got this. I can't remember why I got this. It's basically a Soul Wars poster. So you've got all the dudes with his Griff Charger, and all the dudes there that look like something out of Game of Thrones. On the other side, you've got all the horrible bad dead dudes. I like the guys with the rats, the guys that have they've been melded with their steeds, so they've become a ghostly spirit of them combined with their steeds. And on the other side of the poster, and it really is big, you've got a big guide to like the Mortal Realms, to Giran, Akshi, Shaiish, and all this. This thing is massive. It's like, I can't even show you how big this thing is. It's deeper than my desk. It's huge. It's at least, that's half of it. So I can't remember. I think I got this in the Warhammer, in White Dwarf. I might have done. I think I kept the Imperial. Oh yeah, I did. It came with the White Dwarf, but I kept the Imperial Knights one because it's awesome. So yeah, so you get that nice Age of Sigmar with your Griff Charger and stuff, and it's huge. So we'll give you that, the cutting mat, and the little ruled notebook. Rather sweet. So not a big kick this week, but not all the prizes are massive. There are some stunningly expensive prizes in the pile of things to give away. But this week, something a little smaller and a little cheaper for me to ship. So if you would like to win these three all together, as always, it's dead easy. All you need to do is wait till this stream is finished, give it 5 or 10 minutes, and just stick a comment on this. When it becomes a normal video, just stick a comment on there. What can the comment be? The comment should be... comment is, tell me what he calls his Griff Charger. What's his Griff Charger called? What would you call his Griff Charger? I would call it Spud, but then I call everything Spud. So what is his Griff Charger? I love that it's got tiny little... Everything in Warhammer has tiny eyes. Surely if it's a Predator it should have massive eyes. And also forward facing, not side-facing, because prey animals have side-facing eyes. Never mind, moving on. It's just biology, you know. But yeah, so what is his griff charger called? Big dude. I've forgotten what they're called now. They're the dudes of the Holy Contract now, whatever they're called. I've forgotten now. I'm not an Age of Sigmar guy. What is his griff charger called? So, yeah, just put it in the comments, not in the chat. Not in the chat here. Not there. But in the comments once this stream becomes a video, just tell me what his griff charger is called. And then again next week, assuming we have one of these next week, or whenever the next show will be, you never know, Mum's still waiting on surgery date, we will pull a winner and see who wins all this goodies. I've got to say, some of this artwork as well, it is really nice artwork. I mean, look, that's a really nice gold paint effect on there. It's kind of a bronzy, brassy gold. They do have some very talented artists at the Games Workshop. Very talented artists. You can see how they took great care with these guys, and then they just kind of got bored with the other guys, with the ghostly guys, and just kind of painted them quite quickly. But never mind. Anyway, that's going to do that for that. So that's that. So, yeah, put a comment on the video when it's a video, just saying give a name for that guy's griff charger. And we shall pull a winner next week, or whenever the next show may be. Who can say? As I say, we are still waiting for a surgery date for Mum. So, all being well, and it not being 1,000,000 degrees, we should have a show next Sunday as normal, but don't hold me to that. When Mum goes into hospital, she's going to be in for about a week, so I may not be around. Another competition I can't enter, says Jerry. Why not? You can enter it. Just because you send the stuff to me, doesn't mean you can't have it back. You didn't send me the poster. Fire Conquering Reggie, says Phil Easton Cage. Poor Jerry, says Lynn. Jerry, you can enter the competition, you just win your own stuff back. I can send you 200 tea bags if you want. Stormcast Eternals, that's it. I can't remember what they're called. I only sat there and painted them in the Warhammer store. I did paint some actually. I popped into my local Warhammer and helped manage a cam. I only got to paint a few because I wasn't there for very long, but I got to paint a couple of them, a handful of them, a little bit. Not to my usual standard, it must be said. But I did... Oh, I need to take the email address off. Get rid of that. Yeah, so I painted a few, and they're quite nice, actually. They're not proper glued together jobs, they're actually just... I'm not going to put my gloves on. They're just snap, fit, assemble. Quite a few of these new starter sets are designed to be push fit, just to get people in building quicker, with less barrier to entry. Because they're almost like starter sets, really, these new big box sets. So I'm going to go with just before we dive into chat again, I'm going to go with the second coat of the Null Oilings on these fellows to get them nice and dirty. And again, I primed these with the Leadbelcher primer. Now I have had people ask me if the I'm going to put my visor on again because I can't see. I have had people ask me if the primers, because you have the Chaos Black primer from Citadel, which is very good but also very expensive. They aren't cheap, but they are really good. I have had people actually ask me, they know that the Chaos Black is a primer, but are the other rattle cans that Games Workshop do primers? And they have a few. They have like Death Guard Green and Mephiston Red and Leadbelcher and some other ones, Andrew Dust. And they say, as I knock the camera, people have asked me, are they actually primers or are they just paints? They are actually primers. You can smell it. You can smell them. They're solvent based and you can smell it when you spray them. They are solvent based. And they are actually primers. They do vary in colour ever so slightly from the paints for which they are named. Which is why if you ever watch Duncan doing one of his tutorials and he says he primes something in Chaos Black, but then he goes over it with actual Abaddon Black, or if he primes something in Leadbelcher, he goes over it in, you know, if he primes something in Mephiston Red, he'll paint over it in Mephiston Red before he goes anywhere, just because he needs to make sure it's touch-upable. Yes, they are primers. They smell like primers. They're solvent based and they do grip very well. They are actually really, really good primers. They go on like a dream. They're, in terms of coverage and like self-leveling. They're as good as UMP primers that you put through your airbrush, but just in rattle can form. The only downside is they're so damn expensive. Other primers are available, of course. But yes, they are. They're not just cans of paint, so there you go. Now, I'm not worried about anything pooling here. As I said before, I'm just putting this shade on carelessly. I'm just slapping it all over. Gloves, man, gloves, says Cage. Nah, I can't be bothered. Sometimes you just can't be bothered. Besides, I can hold them by the base. Although I'm going to need some gloves in a minute when I do the little fiddly bits. But for these two dudes. But yeah, I'm not being careful with this shade. I'm just blapping it on. I'm not worrying if it pools anywhere. I'm trying to minimise it pooling. I'm also trying to minimise hitting the camera with my head. But that's what happens when you wear a space helmet and put the camera too close to where your head is. I'm trying to avoid pooling up, but I'm not getting too stressed out about it. Because we're going to bring a lot of this colour back. This is just to really establish a tint, a tone, and get some crud in the recesses. Think of it like pre-shading. And what you'll find is when we do these, as we paint these, a lot of it will be actually dry brushing. Now, I was having a conversation about this the other day. I find dry brushing isn't that great when you're doing things like figures. Anything really small, dry brushing tends to look a bit rubbish sometimes. It's very easy to screw it up and make it look terrible. When you're doing something bigger, like a vehicle like this, it's actually easier to not have it look terrible. Oh, who was that? Wayne, thank you very much for that, Wayne. Where's it gone? Is there a message? Wayne put through a little donation there. Thank you very much, you're most kind. It's taken a little bit of my health down, getting you all closer to that, whatever your prize may be. Now, like I said, thank you very much, Wayne. Like I said, I think that so far the budget is about 200 quid that you guys have all put in through tips and super chats and things like that. So just think, if you win right now, the budget is about 200 quid, and you've got me about a third of the way through my health. So that just goes to show you how much the budget's going to be when it gets me down to zero. Start thinking about, if it's you, what would you want me to buy? Now, I have said before, no Forge World, because of all the hassles with Forge World. If you really want a Forge World kit, if you really want something from Forge World, I'm not going to necessarily say no, but I am going to do it on the understanding, and there'll be written confirmation that if anything goes wrong, if anything is warped or doesn't fit or is missing, it's up to you. I won't have any dealing with it. Once it's shipped out to you, that's the end of it for me. I won't take any responsibility. That's the reason I initially said no to Forge World, because Forge World kits come with their own issues. They can be brilliant, or they can be a mess of parts that you have to get replaced. And that's where I don't want to get involved, because if you spend 200 or 300 quid on something from Forge World and you have to get half the parts replaced, it's me that ordered them, but it's you that needs them. So how does that work? So that's why I've been reluctant so far to do the Forge World stuff, just because of the possibility of shenanigans and bullshit. So if you really want a Forge World kit, I don't know, we'll think about it, but I would try and say don't do Forge World, just go for Warhammer. Whatever you can buy in a Warhammer store or as a web store exclusive from their website will be fine. But we can have that conversation. And again, it might even have to be Warhammer. You could do a gunplet of some sort. You could get a very nice perfect grade for a couple of £100. And we've not even got me down to no health yet. So keep that in mind. There's probably another... I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing now. I only know how much I set each donation to be. It's like so much per pound. So it could be another £100 to go yet before you become Stream Boss. So I think all that money's just piling up for you to then claim your prize. Dee 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 dee. That's a bit too much, so we can get some of that off. Ow. Don't need to go too heavy. I don't want it really pulling up on the guns, if I can avoid it. Best way I've found to deal with any kind of model where you're going for a very heavily weathered look is just don't think. Don't think about what you're doing. Don't analyse it. Just do it. Like this. I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm getting rid of some, you know, excessive bits, because it can get quite goopy. But I'm not thinking about it. I'm not planning it too much. I just know the rough idea of what I want to do, and that's fine. Oh, hello, people have come in. Tony Blackwell, I'm off for a nap later, guys. Thank you. I've got the brush in my mouth. Thank you for coming in, Tony. Jerry, stop you making me all misty. Hey, Dave's in. Butcher That Model's back in. Hey, dude. I miss you, Dad. Scott, says Lane. Is Dad in? Gundam Exia lighting model, says George Flouter. If the budget stretches to that, then yeah. Jerry says he picked up one of the Finecast kits from Game Workshop the other day and was disappointed. There's two different types of resin from Games Workshop. There's Forge World stuff, which is alright. It's not brilliant, but it's alright. And then there's Finecast, which is just ass. Don't buy Finecast. Finecast is terrible. I mean, I hate resin anyway, and I avoid it at the best of times. But if I remember, I mean, I don't quite remember. If I remember rightly, there was Forge World, who's usually been resin, and then there's Finecast, which is like Games Workshop doing resin, and it was just complete ass. So yeah, don't bother with Finecast. I mean, I'm not really. I'd be tempted by some of the stuff they've got in Forge World, but I hate resin, because I've never had fun with resin. I've done a few kits in resin where they've been beautifully moulded and it's actually been quite good fun, but I've heard enough about the reputation of Forge World and the quality of their parts to know that I'm probably going to get one. I'll have to send half the parts or request replacement for half the parts because they're all mismoulded or warped or horribly done, or yeah, I know my luck. Plus they're damn expensive. I'd love was it a Night Titan Warhound? The big massive one? I'd love one of them, but £1,500. And it's in resin. I think not. Still, it would be awesome though, wouldn't it? Imagine getting one of them. Blimey, Riley. Are they Warhounds? The big, you know the one I mean. Like £1,500. And it's not so much that, it's just more the thing, because it's resin, you'd have to pin it all, and then it's like, wow, how am I going to do? Yeah. It would look epic, but I wouldn't want to transport it anywhere. But we can have that conversation. If you end up being the winner, then we can have that conversation. It's not the end of the world, but it would be with the big... I mean, I've actually got the issue at the minute that I'm not even sure how I would order a kit for somebody else. I think I can. Although, if you're outside the UK, what I may have to do is actually order it and have it sent to me and then ship it to you. I think that's how it works. So I think I overheard my local Games Workshop guy saying you can't order for somebody else, but outside the UK. I know you can order for somebody else in the UK and do it as a gift. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Don't need to think about things like that yet. Right, so that's another wash of that done. That layer of shade. I don't think I'm going to get anything else done today. I'm going to keep knocking the camera though as best I can. I'm damn well going to knock that camera every 5 minutes. You know it. What time are we on? 54. It's come up to 5. I've only been going for a couple of hours. But there's not much more I can do today. I need to let that dry. So what we might do is make it a bit of a shorter show, just a couple of hours. And just leave it with that bit done. And then save more bits for next time, because I'm a bit at 6s and 7s today. I'm not quite back in the saddle yet. I've kind of forgotten half the things I need to do and how I do half of this. I've been a bit distracted. So let's put that there. So we've got the shade down anyway. We've thrown some shade. Yeah. So you can see it's going to look. You'll see in a minute. It's going to look dark, dark, dark. But we are going to bring that back, and it's all about dry brushing. And a lot of this paint job is going to be dry brushing. You know, a lot of what fell off him. I think something fell off him. A lot of this. A lot of the Imperial Knight. If I can pick that up and get out of the way. A lot of the Imperial Knight was actually. There's no airbrush in this, it's all either brushed or dry brushed. So a lot of that is just dry brushing. Especially a lot of the green. Green is a beautiful colour to work with. So, yeah. And if you're wondering, by the way, remember I said I magnetised the can on the top? That's the same. You've got a magnet there. And you've got a magnet stuck in there. That's the only magnet I've got on there because the rest of it, these pauldrons, aren't actually magnetised. They just stay in place by friction. So when I transport him I can easily get the arms out. I can't disassemble him any further than that, but I can quite easily take the arms out and then just push the pauldron back on, and it's just a friction fit because there's the primer and the paint and a gloss varnish and some weathering on there. It just means that fit is tight enough now that if I'm playing with him on the table, moving him around, they're not going to fall off. I don't need to worry about it. And I reinforce the waist with lots of extra bits of plastic inside. So there you go. Right, let's have a look at the chat. What have we got? Where are we up to? Good luck to all who enter. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Jerry, says Phil and Lynn. George Fowler says, win it back, redonate, rinse and repeat. Yeah, if Jerry enters a competition and wins his own prize. Big cup of tea. It's one I can enter though, says Tony Blackwell, because Tony also sent me a load of stuff for prizes. So yes, Tony will be like, oh, I can't enter that one, it's the stuff I sent you. Where are we? Slap it on, says Asda. You are the one who brung it up, says Cage. I've missed some conversation there, I think. A mega paint set will be fab if that's allowed, says Zadster. A mega paint set? Oh, you mean as a prize? Well, the budget is going to be about, if this is for the I can't get my finger in the thing. If this is for the Stream Boss Battle, the budget will probably be about, I'm going to guess, about 300 quid. Maybe a bit more. Something like that. It'll be around about that, if not more. So, it doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, I can buy you whatever you want. You can say, I want a mega paint set. If it's in the budget, you can have it. If you want... if you want 2 of the Renegade sets, that'd be 240 quid. That's fine. If you want 3 of the Renegade sets, you might even be able to afford that. You could afford a Renegade set and a Dark Vengeance set, or whatever the current 40k big box set is. It's up to you. Basically, whoever wins that the first time, or this one, whoever wins this first, I will say, you've won that. You've become the Stream Boss. Here's your budget. What do you want? The ins and outs of how you actually get it and how I ship it to you, I'll worry about that. So there you go. But I'm going to guess a good healthy budget of maybe 300 quid, maybe more. It could be more than that. I can't actually remember what I set the thing as now. So get your super chats and your tips coming through. Remember, the more you put through, the bigger your tip, the bigger your super chat, the more health you take off, the more chance of you being the one that knocks me down to 0. Fancast equals crap, says Cage. Yeah, Fancast is not great. Yeah, I'm not going to go around that road again, says Jerry. Yeah. Forge World is meh, says Cage. Also, Warlord Titan. Yeah. The one that looks like a dog on 2 legs. Jerry says he has a 50-50 experience with Forge World. Some stuff is great, some stuff is utter crap. Fox, have you ever tried the Reaper Bones Fantasy Miniatures? Nope, I know of them. But I've never tried them. I just like my 40k. Quite a few places allow you to buy things as a present. You can buy stuff as gifts from Games Workshop. I bought Ted a kit and sent it to him, but he's in the UK and so am I. So I think I can order something as a gift for someone if they're in the UK, because I'm in the UK. I think if you win though and you're outside the UK, like if you're in the US or somewhere else, I don't think I can order it and have it sent to you. I think I'd have to order it and have it sent to me, and then have it and then ship it myself to you. I think that's how I'd have to do it. I think I'd have to do it that way. It might not, but we'll find out. But don't worry about that. That's not for you to worry about. That's for me to worry about. Glad the weather's cooled. It was getting in the way, says Zadster. Yes. Nice looking night, says Lynn. Thank you very much. George Flouter says he redid his hobby desk and all the hobby's own modular stuff, and it looks amazing now. Yes, I've got all that. Look, it's all there. There's loads of it. That's not my focus gone now, isn't it? Killed me focus. I don't know where it is. Yes, I've got all that. I want more, but I've kind of knackered him that I can't put more there because I've got my brush thing there. So I could put one under here, but then my brushes would be up there. I can't put one over there because I've got my paints there. I need more paint racks, but I've got nowhere to put more paint racks. So I'm like, I'm a bit knackered at the minute. I don't know where the camera needs to go now. Focus is probably all over the place. It is life-changing, says George. That's my next project, says Lynn. Yeah, they are really good. The Hobby Zone stuff, the storage drawers, they really are good. And it's actually fun to make them as well. It's actually fun to make them because it's just a bit of wood, a bit of clear plastic, and you get some Gorilla Glue or something similar, wood glue. It's actually really easy. It took me about a day because I hadn't made anything out of wood since I was about 7. Well, this was about 13 at school in woodwork class, so I was a bit out of sorts. Wasn't really sure, but yeah, they are really good. They're worth it. I see God hands. Are those your favourite nippers? Says George. They are now. They were sent to me very, very kindly as a gift. So they replaced my. I've got some Tamiya ones and I've got some Citadel ones, but these are absolutely incredible. They were sent to me as a gift. Here in the UK, they're really hard to get hold of because there's no one here that actually sells them. You have to get them from overseas, and typically you pay 35 to 40 quid for these, and you pay about the same for shipping. So it's not really a good way. It's not easy for us here in the UK to actually get hold of God hands. So I've always wanted a pair for a long time, but I've just never really wanted to spend upwards of 80 quid on them. But they were very kindly sent to me. Very, very kindly sent to me. And I've got them now, so yes. So I use them a little bit on the Warhammers, but only on some of the smaller things where there's really tiny. I'm going to move that back a bit. Really tiny nubs. I don't use them on big, massive kits where there's big, thick nubs because that'll just kill me nippers. Butcher that model says, Fox, the only way you're going to get more room is to sort out the garage finally. Yeah, that would require a lottery win, I think. For those that don't know, I've joked about it quite often. This isn't exactly a massive workspace, and the space is always an issue for me. What I want to do one day is get the garage we've got is old and full of junk. I want to get it knocked down and rebuilt, purpose built with like soundproofing and insulation and electric and everything else, internet wired up, into a purpose built like studio with a proper workbench and lights and everything, spray area and a display area and everything. Yeah, I haven't got that kind of money. So if I win the lottery one day, the first thing I do is get an architect to say, right, knock down that thing and work out how to build a model making studio that's also a video studio, and tell me how much it'll cost. And that's my dream one day. Then I can finally get that D'Agostini Millennium Falcon done. It's never going to happen. So not unless I win the lottery. But everybody can have their dreams. Everyone can have their dreams. Fox, have you tried Winsor & Newton Series 7 brushes? Yes, and I have one here. In fact, I have 2. I have a double O, and I have, if I can find it, and also I have the triple O. I have a double and a triple O. I'll move my enormous cup of tea. Double and triple O, and they are exquisite brushes for doing really fine detailing. They're absolutely fantastic. Super, super, super tiny bristles, and I was getting by with Games Workshop brushes and these, but then I also a few months ago I got myself the Army Painter Mega Brush set, which is like all different dry brushes and round brushes and tiny detail brushes. And my go-to brushes now are the Army Painter brushes, things like the Regiment and the Monster, combined with these for fine detail work. Although you find with things like when you're painting miniatures, what you tend to want to be able to do is take something like which one's this one? That's the Monster brush. Don't want the Monster brush. Take something like the Regiment brush, which is quite big, quite a big bristle. What you find is, unless you're painting very, very, very tiny details, for any small details you really want to use a brush that's bigger than you think you need, just because it will hold more paint. And I can't get this in there without my visor on. Tiny brushes don't hold much paint because they don't have a big reservoir of paint to be held in the bristles. So really these are for the tiniest of details. You can't do a lot of massive work with these. What you tend to find, a good rule of thumb, is to use a bigger brush than you think you need. So for example, for small details I might use the Regiment. For reasonable details I might use the Monster, which is quite a big brush, but it has a nice point on it, and it's got a big fat brush there, which means you get a nice point and a big reservoir of paint. You'd be surprised with a big brush actually how much fine, I can't get it in, how much detail painting you can actually do. Oh, hello. You'd be surprised how much delicate detail what you can actually do with a big fat brush like that, as long as it's got a fine point on it. So yeah, Winsor & Newton Series 7, absolutely fantastic brushes, but they're really just for the tiniest of details. The rest are all the Army Painter ones. And if you're looking up Army Painter stuff, by the way, it's confusing because it's the Army Painter. If you just look up Army Painter, it might not show up in searches. You have to look up the Army Painter brushes. Yeah, it's under T, not A, so there you go. George says, he says the Hobby Zone was simple, but I was cursing the gods as I built them. It was simple. It wasn't that hard. Apart from the clear bits in those little drawers, which was these things here. Yeah, that didn't come out neat. And they're looking a bit filthy now, but there you go. No. I had 19 modules over. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got a corner unit, so I've got 8. You had 19. Blimey, how big's your workbench? See, I'd love more paint racks, but the problem for me is I've got nowhere to put paints. I've got the rack up there at the top, which you just saw a minute ago, which is up there, which holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. It holds 26 Citadel size paint pots. Other than that, I've got nowhere else to put paints. I've got this rack thing here with some paints on it. You can see just here. This thing here. Where's this thing here? But that's just the paint rack that comes inside the Citadel project box. Other than that, I've got biscuit tins with all my paints in. And I can't really put stuff on the walls because the walls won't, they're old walls, the plaster won't take it. So I can't have wall mounted paint racks. So yeah, I'd love a big workspace. I'm not going to have a big workspace. I'll stick with what I've got. On that point, by the way, this Citadel project box, which you can't see, but it's basically a box that you can work in. I got one of these when I was working in the garden, and it's actually really handy. It's just, if you're working on a project like a knight or something, or some figures, it's actually a great little thing. You get this is the inside, fits one of the little painting cutting mats. It doubles as the lid in the work area. You've got this paint rack here, which holds that many paints, quite a lot. That goes inside the box, and then the space inside the box for your brushes, your tools, the bits of the kit, all your paints and stuff like that. So, and your shades. So yeah, if you're doing any work and say you want to work like I did in the garden, I found it so much easier rather than taking down my Imperial Knight and a box full of some of the paints I need and some brushes and everything else. Just put it all in the project box and just leave it in the project box. Take it downstairs, work on it, put it back in the box. It's great. I think they're about 40 quid, 45 quid or something. They're not cheap, but if you tend to have to move around a lot, like if you have to work in a room, say you're working in the kitchen and somebody needs to keep using the kitchen, you're getting shouted at because you have to take all your stuff downstairs and put it all out and put it all back again, you've got paints and things. It's a really good idea. Just give it a go, have a look. I recommend it. They're not essential, but it just makes it a bit easier. 19 modules, blimey. Butcher that model says, yeah, we want part 8. There was never any part 7, dude, on the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon. Interzone88 says, what army painter brushes do you recommend? I would say the Monster. I would definitely say the Monster. I would say the Regiment brush. The dry brushes are very nice. And I've only had to use a lot of the Regiment and the Monster. I actually find they cover kind of most eventualities. There are also things like the Detail and the Psycho and things like that. I haven't really had to use those much because I can get a lot of stuff out of just the Monster and the Regiment. But, you know, there's no harm in buying the big Mega Brush set because that comes with a load of little dry brushes as well, which are actually quite good. And the dry brushes, by the way, it says large dry brush. It actually works quite nicely as a base brush as well. Doesn't have to be. I've used it as a dry brush. It looks a bit scratty, but you can actually use it as a chisel-edged base brush for your base painting, like painting your base colours. And they've got these things as well, which is a small dry brush. And again, it works really well for painting just base colours because it's a nice, smooth and soft texture. It's not like an actual fluffy dry brush. But yeah, if you don't want to buy the whole Mega Brush set, I'd say at least the Regiment and the Monster. Getting through that tea. Tea. I know, tea. It's not right, is it? Fox, the big question is not the brush, but have you used the thumb palette yet? Says Dave. Not had chance yet, Dave. For those that don't know, Dad, Mike Mountain, who everybody calls Dad, likes to make things, and he made me 3 of these, which are brilliant. It's like a plastic bottle lid, but it's got an important bit. It's got an inside bit here and an outside bit, and you can put like paint and water or thinner and water or 2 different fluids. And it's also got this bit. Now with a bit of tissue and a bit of parchment paper, you could have a perfect thumb palette. If you're working on little figures, where's my little thing? If I was working on a dude, what I could do is have my thumb palette there. I could have my dude here, like this, and I could be painting. Not with this brush, obviously, but I'd be like, painting, whatever. Little thumb palette just to get the paint, and that'd be brilliant. I haven't had a chance to use it yet because I've not had to do any fine figure painting. I've only been painting Imperial Knights, which is using a whole mess of paint, so I'd use the big wet palette for that. But when it comes down to painting dudes, especially painting dudes, and using it on this thing, because I'm not going to be moving my hand around. Like painting these guys, I'm moving my hand everywhere all the time. When I'm painting a figure, it'll literally be stood there like that, sitting there in the grippy thing, and I can paint him and move that around and not move this hand. So not had a chance to use them yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, but Dad made me that. Brilliant. Made me 3 of those. Thumb palette, absolutely fantastic. Dad, thank you very much. I love those. Dad's awesome. I love Dad. He's not my dad. Everybody just calls him Dad. He likes to make things for people. George Flouter says his workbench is a tiny desk built into an apartment wall. I have them in a giant U. I will post in the boom hut. Oh, jolly good. What else we got going on? The corner ones are the frustrating bits. Yeah, they're a little bit fiddly. You have to have like three sets of hands. I'll put the Series 7 on my Christmas list then. The Army Painter brushes are already on the list. Yay, good, says Zadster. Andy McLeish says, hello folks. Hey Andy. Philly says, just try the wall mounts. If the plaster crumbles away, just replace with filler and screw them into that. Yeah, you're assuming I have any DIY skills. I have no DIY skills. If I tried to put filler in a wall, I'd probably break the house. So I inherited my DIY skills from my dad, who had none. So you don't want me doing anything, basically, anything at all. It was risky enough if I, try and drill a hole into the wall outside to mount something on the wall outside. I've done that once or twice, and even that was like, yeah, got away with it. When in doubt, orcify it, says Andy McLeish. Yeah, daka. I'll get more storage for my paints and stuff when I have more room, says Nim. You got tea, I got me Guinness, says Cage. Yeah, I've got a Guinness downstairs in the fridge, but not while I'm working, dude. Not while I'm working. Right. Right, well, I think we're going to call it there in here, because I'm not going to get any more painting done. They're just about dry now, still a few little moist patches. But I won't get anything else done now in the next 45 minutes. And I've almost run out of tea. Barry's tea for all your tea needs. But yeah, that's going to do us. So thank you to everyone who's watched. Don't forget, of course, the competition to win the big ass Age of Sigmar poster, the dinky little cutting mat, the translucent cutting mat, and the, what was the other thing? I've forgotten already now. What was it? Oh, the book, the Rick Dom notebook. If you want to win those, just put a comment on this stream when it becomes a video in the next 20 minutes or so. And in the comments, just put down a name for the Griff Charger that Stormcast Eternal is riding in that big poster. Where's he gone? Just in case you've forgotten. This guy here. This big fella. What's his Griff Charger called? Give me a name for his Griff Charger. And we'll pick a comment next week at random. And that person will win this enormous poster. And trust me, it is enormous. It's huge. It's quite significant. It's at least as tall as itself. That poster and the Rick Dom book and the rather adorable little cutting mat. So we'll pull a winner for those next week. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, I will hopefully be back next Sunday. Again, as I've said before, we're still waiting on a surgery date for Mum, and when she does go back in, it's going to be at least for a week. So if she's gone in by that point, I won't be here next Sunday, but I'll post up and let you know anyway. So hopefully we should be here. But yes, I will keep you in the loop and let you know. But thank you to everyone who's sent positive thoughts and get well soons and stuff for Mum. She really appreciates all of it, and I really appreciate that you've looked out for me, and I'm grateful for that. Don't forget, as always, if you've never been to it, do go along to the Model Makers Boom Hut. It's facebook.com/groups/model boom hut. It's the best online Facebook group for model making. It's all friendly, all nice and happy, no snarking, no bitchiness, no rivet counting. We don't allow it. And last of all, of course, don't forget, if you'd like to help support me and keep this channel going, do pop along to Patreon, patreon.com/modelmakingguru. You can pay as much or as little as you like. If you're a top tier, $100 a month or more, after 12 months you can get me to build you a master grade. Build and paint you a master grade. It's basically a commission, effectively. You will get a master grade, and I've got two coming up. The Strike Rouge Autori and the Sasabi version car are both Patreon builds. So keep an eye out for those build series coming up. Yes. And last of all, if you'd like to do a tip, don't forget there's a tip jar, streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru. If you want to get one in before this show finishes, it'll take some of my health down. But if not, you're welcome to put a tip through whenever you want. But I think that's going to do us. So just thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate, obviously I've been away for a few weeks, so thanks to everybody that's come back, despite me disappearing. Everybody's just saying, take care, Fox and Fox's mum. See you on the Monday stream. Yes, I should be, sadly, because Ted's taken poorly sick now. Ted's been in hospital. So tomorrow's live stream for eModels, 9 PM on the eModels YouTube channel. Will be me and Chris. Ted might pop in the chat, but probably not. So yes, just now we've just got all three of us together, and I've been off for 2 weeks. Now Ted's off. So send all your good wishes for health to Ted as well, Skipper Ted, because he's been poorly sick and in hospital. So it's all going wrong at the minute. I don't know. But yes, thank you everyone for watching. Do take care of yourselves. Until next time, don't forget. I've just forgotten. Hey, don't forget, and then I forgot what I was going to tell you. Oh, I'm an idiot. Anyway, I shall leave it there. So hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow night on the eModel stream. And until then, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios amoebas.